Greetings and salutations, and welcome back to the continuation of our Hindustan game. EU4 with RedBstrd. So we're nearing the end, and I'm not really describing any new mechanics. So I think as soon as we get Ming integrated into our country, then we'll call this video to a close. And I will be starting up some sort of Game of Thrones themed game. If there's a good mod that I can find, then I'll just use that. Otherwise, we'll just create some custom nations and build our ideas based around the houses and try to make them interesting and place them out in strategic positions. All of them will be relatively balanced. Okay, so our ruler died, leaving Jim the Wise, Khilji, 6-year-old boy, under a regency period. So fortunately, we did get that. We got rid of the adulteress and got a good 445 Adi Begum to serve as regent. And she's a free thinker, so our idea cost will be 5% cheaper. See if we can get any good technology. Once. Nope. Just going to dismiss that. Or natural scientist died. That's unfortunate. We got tons of cash, so why don't no Mohammed Badakshi is not welcome in our cart. Let's get this philosopher. Tax burden. We'll wait till this drops down to 75. Barstan wants access to our country. But if you want our troops to move through each other's territory, you have but to wait. Actually, we'll probably not wage another war here. It would be kind of cool to see if we could take down the French military machine, because their troops are going to be so good. I do have a large army, and then being backed up by Brandenburg would make them pretty impressive. I think we got other things to do with our time. Yeah, let's try butting up to our allies a little more. We haven't done that in a little while. Okay, Ethiopia, let's be closer friends. All right. And not a whole lot super exciting going on. I'm considering increasing the speed. Yeah, let's do that. Get it speed 5. We just have a few rebellions to put down. Actually, might not even face any others, because the only province that's really keen to revolt is Socotra, and their unrest is pretty low. If we just give them a little bit of peace, that'll drop down as the separatism falls. Of course, we could just station some troops in that area. This is fine. Okay, military tech up again, and we get Sepoy infantry. Our land forces will be even more competent. Let's pull these guys back into port and get them upgraded. And let's get some more ships, because we're allowed more, and we can afford more. Yep, we can get even 14 more than that. I think we want 12 more here, and 2 more warships. And that fleet is completely up to date. Keep losing generals left and right. But we were 1 over anyway, so this is fine. Looks like Austria is being beat up by the French. Yeah, so France just declared war on Austria, and they're trying to take over their country, which must be humiliating to Austria as they are the Holy Roman Emperor. They're not able to defend the Empire, they're not able to even defend themselves. Japan just sent us a gift. Good for them. Thank you, Japan. We appreciate it. And we're 81% of the way towards integrating in Ming. Most of our diplomatic power is being used directly for that. So we'd normally get 9 per month, but we only get 2 because 7 of it's going towards our project of integrating Ming. Could get a royal marriage here with Khiva, but we're going to improve the relations first. We'll give aid to Tabaristan again, bring us into a war with Ottomans, who would have guaranteed Tabaristan, and then vassalize them. Let's see how much debt the Ottomans have. They don't have any debt. They paid off all that debt in the period of our truce. So we can't invade them again for another year. Well, 6 months, really. So you can't declare war on a vassal of somebody if you have a truce with the overlord. Lost general. And that's fine, because we're 10 years ahead of time. I have no military ideas to work on, so we'll just get another. Everyone's dying. This is like 2016. How many more great people are you going to kill? What's your encore? Ming sent us an insult. They must have a babbling buffoon on the throne. They do. Okay, let's marry into that royal family just to ensure that relations remain as cordial as possible. Don't want any problems with this integration going awry. Fortification expert. We could either lose 1 prestige or spend some money to make the forts in Baghdad a little more impressive. Let's do that. Let's actually upgrade these forts even further, since we have the cash to do so. I don't think we upgraded the forts in Delhi. We don't totally need to do, as Delhi has not come under siege in centuries, literally centuries. And we've got pretty impressive fortifications protecting it from the west. Somebody could land down here and march all the way up. But I just don't see that happening. No European power would dare declare war on us, facing the wrath of Ethiopia, Russia, Ayutthaya, Japan, ourselves, and Ming. They would have to be insane. conquer Ganja. Well, it might as well. We have a standing army of almost 500,000 men, and we have nearly another 500,000 men. We could humble those Ottomans pretty easily. Let's upgrade this fort. We're going to keep it. Might as well have it be mighty. Might as well do the same here. Not that anyone is going to invade us from the east either. If we're playing multiplayer, I would keep a few more forts down here, because that's our soft underbelly. But Ayutthaya will never break that alliance. They're too smart for that. Going to start having some objections from Cat and his sister, as they should be fed in 20 minutes, which is a good reminder because that lets us know about the 30-minute mark, so they'll start coming in here and whining, and that'll be our indication to end this video. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to finish with this video 3 more years. I think we can. Get Ming into our country and call it to a close. Okay, Japan wants our maps of Southeast Pacific. Sure. By now, maps have spread to us of most of the world, obviously. I say obviously because we already looked through at what's going on in large portions of the New World. And we've seen Europe and Africa for quite some time. Like the Pacific, that's all spread to us. Okay, it's probably Portuguese, but it could be Irish. Irish Hawaii. Seems legit. Okay, we can get another idea here. We're ahead of time by 8 years. We definitely don't want a diplomatic idea, because we are behind schedule there. And this next idea will be really good for us. But we're going to go for humanist ideas. We could go for economic to make our economy stronger, but humanist will be really nice as well. We're going to lighten the tax burden. We could upset our ulama, we'll do that because we could just give them some more cash. Okay, so why humanist? Well, it fits with what we've been doing. Tolerating people of all beliefs. It'll give us more religious unity. Not that that's a problem at all for our country, but just like, we're being excessive. And I like being excessive. It'll decrease the unrest across the board. We've seen that one again. It's lose money or make one province suffer. We'll be able to tolerate heretics better, but I'm not sure that there really are any non-Sunni Muslims. I can see a couple provinces. We'll just take a look at them right away. So we can see that there's a bit of Ibadis and Shiites here, and a bit here and here, and here. Let's see. Well, we really won't need to wipe them out, actually. Once we start with our humanists. So, yeah, we can ensure that no more of our population becomes Sunni until we conquer some stuff, which I don't think we're going to do. We're just running down the clock, trying... Okay, do we make our merchant guilds happy, getting some money, or do we gain stability and upset our merchant guilds? Let's gain some stability. Alright, the fortresses are nearing completion. I'm making quite good money at this point. Japanese ruler died. So they offered a new royal marriage, and we'll accept it. Because we like our Japanese friends. Yeah, no. Got a few minutes, bud. Okay, let's pull this guy back, because I think we're going to do a few more things. Let's tell Ayutthaya we are going to guarantee their independence. Let's do the same to Japan. Let's do the same to Russia. And we have to be substantially stronger than them to be able to do this. So it's fun being able to do it to everyone. Okay, let's get the new guy here. And we do want somebody with diplomatic reputation, a statesman, because it speeds up our integration here. As you can see, it's based off diplomatic reputation, how many points each month. And now that we have humanist, we add some new events to our land. Some of this is about religious deviation from the state religion, from free thinking. So we could either reverse our trend and gain some missionary strength, make technology more expensive, or we could just let people do what they want in that province. And that gives us some penalties, but it's just one province. We don't care. You guys are welcome to believe whatever you wish religiously. Have fun with it. Okay, Austria just got absolutely wrecked. They lost Vienna. They got to keep their gold mine in Tyrol. But yeah, their capital is here. I guess the upshot is it'll be a little bit easier to defend in the mountains, but not with a fort that small. And they do have some territory up here as well. But yeah, Austria's basically a non-entity. There's still the Emperor. And they will be re-elected as the Emperor. Because they still have a lot of diplomatic might. People take them seriously diplomatically. And that, kids, is why you should remember to always be polite. It can make you the Emperor. Alright, we've seen this tons of times. Since we have a lot of inflation, brought on mostly by gold mines, we need to either give some autonomy away or try to bring that down. We're actually going to invest in getting it down beneath. We'll get beneath 3, so we shouldn't see those events again, unless something crazy happens here. Lost our philosopher. And we are not hiring this guy. And we're not going to pay to retire him. Because he slept with our Padishah's wife, so screw that guy. Just kick all these guys out of here and see if we could get another +3 guy. Shame. We'll go for this +2 guy. And we've integrated in Ming, gaining their armies, gaining all of their cores. And now we need to and all their forts. So let's get rid of their outdated ships. We don't need this garbage. This fort, we're going to start paying it. They weren't paying it, but we will. And we'll merge this army together. Okay, again, we don't want their outdated fleet. It's just an expense. Okay, so now we've got a huge empire that stretches from basically the edge of the Palestine region, throughout the Arabian Peninsula, up to Shirvan, throughout a bit of Mesopotamia, from Baghdad, all the way through Persia, Indian subcontinent, a bit of Central Asia, Burma, the Chinese region, Tibetan Plateau, all of Mongolia, Manchuria, and Korea. I mean, there's a Korean island here, but, you know, that doesn't really matter. It's not too significant. So I think this is the appropriate place to stop the video. We're only 20 minutes in, so why don't we actually hand out a few more seats in Parliament. This will be our last thing that we do, so this one deserves a seat. Nanjing. It's one of the historical capitals of the Chinese kingdoms. That in Beijing. And we need to give out 2 more seats, so we'll give 1 here. That one's already got one. Definitely Beijing. It's 36 development. They get a seat in Parliament. This is a valuable province, so we'll add that one in too. Canton, sure, they get a seat. Okay, so this is going to be our final Hindustan. So let's just take a few minutes here to reminisce down memory lane. We should have a timeline. We can use this. I haven't showed this yet. We can click on the show timeline. And why don't we go zoom in on Delhi and play it on medium speed. Watch the spread of our country. Remember that Bangladesh is our vassal at this point, so we're spreading north, a little bit south, integrate them in, crush Jampur. And we're solidifying power up into Sindh, northern India, pretty much ours. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Kind of slow period. We're not expanding too rapidly, but then we took over Jampur and Gujarat. And we become Hindustan. Then we should start growing pretty rapidly after that. At least in India, we've taken over Ceylon. Sorry, Arakan. Sorry, Dolly. Sorry, Min. We're the only white nation. Okay, that sounded wrong. We're the only nation that's got a white color on the map that's allowed to survive. Sorry, Hejaz. Your time is limited. I push into the Tibetan Plateau and Ladakh. Bengal just got crushed. And we wrecked Vijay. Wrecked Andhra. Baluchistan is our vassal at this point. Took over Assam. And Manipur. So we just fed Baluchistan at the expense of the Timurids. We temporarily have pretty stable borders with the Ottomans. And we take over Baluchistan and we pushed into Arabia a little. Crushing Andhra, crushing Vijay. And let's zoom out a little bit more. And now we're pretty huge at this point. Uzbek just became Bukhara. And we're starting to push east into the China region. And not a whole lot going on there. Mongolia, I think, has become our vassal. Yeah, and now we're feeding Mongolia. We're pushing into Arabia further. We've vassalized Iraq, unified India, pushed into Burma, and fed Ayutthaya, taken over Iraq, taken over Oman. That's the 1650s. And next, Mongolia, beat up on Bukhara. Yeah, I think we beat up Tabaristan for the first time there. Yeah. Beat up on Manchu and pushing a little bit deeper into China. Southern front. Yep, doing some more. And we sold back that territory to Yi because Xi because we're overextended, and then fed it to Ming. Pushing into Korea. Our borders are pretty stable over here for the rest of the game until we release Khiva. And there's our war with the Ottomans. Took over Korea. Eliminated all of the countries in China other than Ming and us. And then just in another year, we took over Ming. So there is our glorious Hindustan. And we could just get out of this by hitting the close the timeline, or we can just go to any map mode. Will take us out. Okay, so I'm going to save the game here, and this will be the final video of this series. The next thing I'm going to do is either try to find a Game of Thrones mod or design custom nations. So stay tuned for that, and I'll probably put up the first one and stop there after I've just gone through and shown all the countries, if I do it custom, and I'll pick a nation to play, preferably with feedback from viewers. If I have to play a mod, then I won't do that, because all that information would be known to anyone who plays the mod. If I have to design it, I'll go over everything, and that'll be our first video, and then we'll choose who we want to play and play it from there and see how it goes. So again, get that. So thank you for watching. If you found this whole series to be informative, please consider liking the video and or subscribing to the channel.